Okay guys, I'm gonna show you kind of what I did to tuck the bay, kind of what I've cut on the whole thing, and kind of how to tuck the bay a little bit, and what I did. Kind of grinded down the headlight brackets here on each side, and then made a piece welded right here and went around right down to there. Took quite a bit of cutting and trimming to get the shape with the headlight correct, but it wasn't too extremely hard. It's kind of easier than what I thought. This mount here, I kept the side piece that was right here, kind of just welded it on some more on the side there and up here. This piece was still connected right there. There was a gap right through this whole area, and there was a small gap right here, and there was a kind of a corner piece hanging off about right there that connected to this piece. I had a extra piece of metal that I had bent kind of around a bar that got this curve here, and I kind of twisted when I got the curve, I twisted this edge so it would flatten up kind of with this area. So I welded a piece from here on around up to here, back underneath this piece here, and then kind of right there, and just blended it in after I got a big chunk of weld on it with the grinder. Same thing with this mount here. Just kind of took a piece of sheet metal, cut it to the shape, and then just bent it around it, and just kind of drew a line where I needed to trim it and just welded it on. Same thing with this piece here. I'll get this to clear up a bit. Cut a piece that was lined up right here with it, and then cut it. Damn, this shit is not clear. Alright, cut it around with the body right there. Sorry, it's kind of blurry for some reason. Alright, these pieces were kind of really hard. I kind of got the best shape that I could at first to start, and I just used the grinder to slowly grind the corners to get it to fit. And then I bent this piece right here that went up into the corner, or the triangle area. This area here didn't fit the best. I actually built up a whole bunch of weld in this area right here, because when I pressed it up, it kind of had a big gap right here. So I used a lot of weld to fill in the area, and then grinded it down smooth as I could. So then there's a lot of weld in this corner area where it meets kind of the frame with this piece. Put a whole bunch of weld in there, kind of all the way to here, and just grinded it smooth. And then the rest was like body filler. I took all the seam sealer off of this area, did a thin patch of welding all the way up, and then just most of it was just filler to get the gap smooth with this edge. There's this piece swooped down to about right there. I welded it on all the way across the whole bottom. There was another kind of a triangle piece right here I welded on all the way to the firewall, and then this piece here was two pieces. This is, I don't know why it's so blurry. Okay, anyway, this was two pieces from here. It kind of went down right here, and then I cut a piece to the edge right here. Welded that on, and then welded a piece that went like from here all the way down, and it met these two pieces right here. There was a little bit of a gap. It wasn't a big gap, but put a whole bunch of weld in there just to get it really solid, and just used a grinder to grind it down. This also, I made a piece right there to shape with the body all the way up. I cut around it. Just welded each edge. all the way up. There's two pieces for like the fuse box that go right here. Fuse box, and then there's some other hole here, I can't remember what it was for. And then there was like an air conditioner hole. I made pieces that cut out. Yeah, what the fuck? Anyway, I made pieces that went around here on each one of those holes, welded them shut, and then there was a big, where there's a big hole, like indention right here. I made a big old plate that went from the bottom, it curved up and then went to where that circle piece was right there. Cut it up to a point and then came all the way back around and down. So that was actually a big piece of metal right there that I had welded in. And then these bumps up here, just we did filler in there to smooth it all out, and it kind of had a nice flow to it. And also like right here kind of. This is also a cut piece. Get a better view here. This piece here was welded, and I actually did this whole piece at one time. So I test fitted it first, this square piece here, and then I test fitted this piece, and once those were kind of mostly perfect, I just welded them together on this edge here, and then I kind of tack welded it and on the top to make it stay, and then I made another metal piece right here that kind of lined up with this curved edge until I got that right. Then I welded all of this piece together, and then I pressed it on, and then since I test fitted it right, I just welded it all on these edges, and then on the top right here, and then on the top right there, and then a thin piece of weld across the edge there. Here's the brake lines. These go to the rear. The ones that go to the front are in the inside. They go all the way to the left and right side of the car. This is going to be the clutch line, and here is the throttle cable that's going to go to my pedal setup. This is actually a Ford throttle cable. Locar makes it, and I'll kind of show you what it's going to look like. Same thing with this side here. Cut this piece of metal into the best shape I could. Welded it all down here. This didn't fit the best either, so I built up a whole bunch of weld, smoothed it out with a grinder, and made a whole template for where the brake booster was around here. And then welded along the whole edge. Same thing with the clutch master. And actually I can't remember what was there. I think that was a clutch master. Whatever. Anyway, we'll go on. So there's the whole engine bay. Sorry, it was kind of blurry when I was doing the explanation on how I welded some things, but there's my camera. Okay, so here is the, sorry, it's really messy in here, I haven't cleaned it up. Tilton puddle box here. There's all the master cylinders, one clutch, one for the front brakes and one for the rear brakes. And here is actually the brake light button. So I kind of made a little bracket and screwed it onto there. So whenever it presses the brake, let's go with the button and turns on the lights. So here's the throttle linkage here, and then there's part of the throttle cable. I just haven't put it in the cable liner yet. It's kind of cool how it all works together. So that'll bolt up right in there, kind of like that, except it's going to be farther back. And then I got the reservoir up in the dash up there mounted. reservoir. So, and then that'll connect to the master cylinders, and then there's the brake lines up there that you see in the clutch, where the clutch line will connect to, and the brake lines that go to the left, and then the brake line that goes all the way to the right. So all the brake lines are right here where it's going to connect to the pedal. And there's one of them right there that I still have to put on. That one. So yeah, it's kind of a basic thing on how the pedals will work. Now, the way I put the pedals on, where I kind of mounted it, drew some circles where the mounting holes were, which is like right here on the pedals. There's 4 of them. Drill straight through the floorboard. I went through the floor down there, and then where the fuel lines are, it actually went right onto the left and the right side of the fuel, where the fuel lines are. And I have a steel plate that the bolts go through underneath, so they'd be to the front and the rear that it'll bolt through, and that'll sit against the bottom of the car, and I'll bolt it on. That'll keep it from moving, and I may tack weld this whole metal piece on the bottom later, so the pedals cannot move at all. That is pretty much it. If there's anything I'm really missing, you can just ask me in the comments, but that is basically all of it. Kind of just trying to go through it really quick, but it wasn't a very quick video. So if you have any other questions, just leave them below. I might have missed some things that I can't remember right now, so just ask me if you need to. Thanks a lot.